So hi there guys, hi and welcome along to another sunny, or should I say snowy, let's get the weather conditions correct, Tuesday paint along session with our loose gang and myself and all of our friends all gathering together and see what we can do with this final push towards the big day, towards Christmas. So hi there guys, hi there Craig, welcome along. And the rain falls mainly in Spain apparently, but the snow falls in Leicestershire where I am at the moment. So I hope you guys are all well. So hi there, Gian, welcome along. Pat, beautiful to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Elaine, Govan, Chris there, hi guys. Sally from Florida. Oh, you're all over the world. It's such a big place, but not today. We're all in a cozy little place that we're all together and doing our Christmas bits and bobs. So hi there, Janet. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're ready and up and ready with your knee there for Christmas. Shirley, welcome along. Thanks for joining, and obviously from, not obviously, but ceremoniously from St. Evanage, Jenny, welcome along. Glennis and Christine, and guys, oh yeah, I'm overwhelmed. So thank you for joining me. I've altered tonight because I've got to go out slightly later on. So I'm going to a jazz concert. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm sure it'll be fun. So here we go, guys. Bit of paper, flat paper. This is not on an angle or anything like that. It's dead flat, and that's how I work, because that allows the water and the paint to float about. You can imagine if I hold it upright, everything's going to go in one direction, as in the boy band from Great Britain. I have to think they're still together. I can't remember. I forget my statistics on that. Will we be singing tonight, Janet? Let's sing tonight. It's Christmas, so let's have a couple of songs tonight. And if you've got any suggestions, if I know them, I'll give them a go. And if I don't know them, I'll give them a go. I'll give anything a go. And that's really what we should be doing in the paintings as well. So don't be constrained by anything. I know it's easy to say, but we're all full of doubt and feelings that it's not going right. It's not how we want it to be. It is. It's a painting. You're enjoying it. That's all it's about. And from that, good things will happen. Yeah, I sound like a very preacher-esque type of guy. I'm not a big convert in any sense, but I am. I do believe in sort of positive thinking and moving forward with the positivity and getting there. Negativity will get you nowhere. Anyway, guys, enough of that. What have we got? Mr. P. Yeah, P to the propelling pencil. When do I celebrate? On the 25th, absolutely. Christmas Day. Family will be gathering around, and we'll have turkey, and we'll have games, and we'll have presents, and then I'll do a long speech to the family about my life, and they'll all go to sleep, and then they'll wake up, and then we'll continue with the merriment. So I'm sure we do different things, but it's all about getting together and enjoying the time together over Christmas. So, Peter, the propelling pencil, yeah. 0.7 lead, nothing extravagant, but it's in fact what I'll do for a start, guys. Let me reverse track slightly. What we need is one of these, yeah, a little scamp, because these help out a lot, and I can do it a lot darker on the paper. So it will be great fun. I shall see to that. That's my mission on the day. So this is my scamp. What I want is two long rectangles. Yeah, there's one, there's another. Yeah, really, with my simple drawing method, put your dots down for a start. It'll get it nice and accurate and clean. Line across, and then we've got a little line in the center. Yeah, so then we've got a little triangle, all very basic geometric shapes, mathematical shapes. I didn't design these. Somebody called Augustus Rectangle designed this one, and then we've got Senor Pierre triangle. He designed this one. All named after them. All named after them. Just Google it. You'll find that's absolute tosh. Anyway, there's the two rectangles. And hi there, Viv. Welcome along. Ah, Tiptree Jam. How is it this time of year? I bet there's none left on the shelves where you are. Great to see you. Thanks for joining me. So, two rectangles, line across the center, a little triangle. Let's go for a circle. Yeah. So we're still on the geometric front, and let's have another one there. Let's have a little rectangle here with a dot in the center to get your, well, let's call it an arch shape, and then just replicate that. So you're just mirroring the image. This is all central. Lines across, quite a few of them. I'll pick a few of those out. Which ones? Don't even know myself. To be quite honest, don't even know myself. So then we've got, let's have a look, a few little ups and downs here, ups and downs here. Let's go for a little, no, let's go for two more rectangles. I've not painted this before. Quite often, in fact, 99% of the time, I don't pre-paint the thing that we're going to do. I just think about it, I think that'll be nice. So really I am sort of flying by the skin of my teethy boots, whichever the little phrase it is. But I don't like to pre-paint it. I like the excitement of it, and I like to see how it turns out, to be honest. So that's how I want it. Little lines there, guys. When I draw, I flick the line. I put it down, flick, or upwards, whichever it may be. I just get a nice, solid, easy line without deliberating. If I'm doing it nice and slowly, that's your detail. You're accurate. You're thinking too much. Just throw it on. There's my little frontage piece, yeah? I mean, I won't ask you to guess what it is because it's relatively obvious. Little gap just here, and then sort of this is going to be a little side building. This is where maybe the ecclesiastical folks have a little bite to eat or something like that. Who knows? There we go. Although I must admit, I must tell you a quick story. I did have a lady visit once to the house, and she was a nun from an enclosed order, and she'd never left the enclosed order before, and it was the first visit, and it really was a fantastic little chat because she almost spoke in a maybe how I imagine people would speak years and years ago. She spoke in a very sort of old-fashioned way, and it was really was a joy to speak to her, and just she was amazed at all the things around roads and all the bits and bobs. I know she knows about them, but actually to be out of the enclosed order and integrating for a little while was fantastic. So I never forgot that day. There we are. There we go. Anyway, that's what I want. Basic, simple shapes. Looks complicated, but it's not. What it is think in terms of rectangles, triangles, circles. Nothing more than that. Yeah. Get your central lines in. You can make it simpler. It doesn't have to be quite as complicated as this may look. But anyway, there we have. We've got it. So now what I'm going to do is some little lines that splay out. I'm just going to jagger them out, and this sort of leads me in to the image. Really, I suppose the focal point's going to be the door, and then all we need are we're going to have a few trees that go up, spring up into the air, into the Christmas air. That's all we need. Long lines. I'm actually, you can't see this, but I'm actually pushing my arm rather than flicking the pencil to get actually any height on this thing. So there we are, all in the air, floating about. That maybe, Janet, is exactly where the Queen lives. When she pops into Leicestershire, I think that's where she stays. So I pop round, take a flask, and we have a cup of tea together. It's absolutely amazing. A bit like this cup of tea. There we go, guys. Snuggy Bear again, but this is in his Christmas gear. I won't tilt any further, but there we go. So I hope you've got your cups of tea and coffee ready, guys. There. Now, could be Westminster Abbey Pat as well, absolutely. It was quite funny when I went to London because I pre-booked a parking space and it's exactly on the doorstep of Westminster Abbey. Sounds like absolute tosh. I didn't know where I was going, but I suddenly pulled up and found the sat-nav had brought me right to the door of Westminster Abbey, and that's where my parking space was. Crazy. Anyway, there we go, guys. So let's just replicate this onto the paper. I'm going to start off with my line that I want to work with, so dots across. Yeah, there we go. So it may be a bit fainter now, but we know from the scamp that it all fits and we know what we're doing. I'd like to get them both on. I'll see if I can zoom out a bit for you so you can see the two while I'm doing it. There we go. Ooh, move it across a bit. There's my scamp and there's my non-scamp. Yeah, there we go. That may help. You made some muffins, Janet. That is, oh, I love those. Every time I go to our kitchen, which is 13 to 14 times an hour, I have a muffin. And they're delicious. With a hot butter on, I have. I don't know what your preferred topping is. So what I'm doing here, guys, little dots, using the dot method a little bit more than on the scamp, but I'm just little ideas on the scamp. Broken lines, I don't need solid lines all the way down. Line across, little triangle, dot in the center. These dots just so simple but so effective. Keep everything in position. Dot in the center, line up. Dot in the center, line up. Yeah, there we go. Paleo muffins and delicious. I could smell them from here. Just, oh, everybody waffed. Everybody waffed the smell of Janet's muffins. Yeah, there's a phrase you don't hear every day. So got that. In fact, what I'm going to do is extend this slightly. Take it down because I want it to be longer. Elongating your buildings makes them more elegant. Yeah, not more elephant, but more elegant. So don't be afraid to adapt and adjust as you go along. Little circle we had, little doorway, rectangle and up, little flicky bits, down, down, down. There we go. I'm going to break this up a little bit into sections as a sort of cathedral frontage piece maybe. A few little lines, doesn't matter how many. Because I say it doesn't matter how many, sounds a bit of a throwaway remark, but it is, the eye will fill in the detail. If you always remember that, it's a very useful way of thinking. You think you've got to tell everybody everything all of the time and it's too much info. No, don't tell me that, let me guess. That type of thing. We like the quiz, we like the challenge. And we will fill in the gaps in our own individual interpretation of what's happening. There we go. Anyway, got that on, guys. A little building at the side where the monks do their thing. A rectangle, rectangle, little triangle. I think we had a roof on a slope. Yeah, all broken down. A bit like my car. That's another story. Been quite a full-on week. Car breaking down, not going anywhere. Line again across, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Now, the difficulty you will have is this control thing, as I say all the time. And you really need to sort of learn this little process to get you away and more comfortable with letting go. I wouldn't let go without knowing where I was going to land. So think of it in that sense. Learn the steps. And again, guys, I didn't mention at the beginning, but absolutely beautiful, beautiful work you've been producing. It really is fantastic. You should be absolutely justifiably proud of yourselves. You've done I'll see when people have joined, or say joined us. There's no join, everybody's welcome all of the time, but they, I see when people start and they're nervous and cautious, and then I see them flourish and they're absolutely flying, and there really is some beautiful stuff out there. Don't underestimate how good some of your work is, and when you look at individual work, there's fantastic bits in there, and then there's bits you'd like to change, but don't go back and keep going over it. Try and learn from each one and do it again. It's such a quick process, and that's just thinking in that sense is quite a useful thing, because if you think, oh no, I've got to sit there and do it again for an hour or two, you know, when you get into this, the actual joy that you get from painting in a loose fashion, and I do every time, I do say this, and it's absolutely true, because this week I've not managed to paint too much, and I've really missed it. I'm just itching to get get back over to my painting area and get stuck in, and I did do that a bit yesterday, and I did today again. I thought, no, I'm so busy, but I'm still going to do this anyway. So there we go, guys. A few lines up for trees, very simple. I will try and zoom in just to give you a little bit more of a... No, can't see it. Anyway, never mind. You'll see it in a minute. Let's just zoom out again, guys. There we go. Right. Moving the scamp out of the way. Second thing, moving the cup of tea in the way, moving it towards my mouth area, and I'm going to take another slurp. So hi there, Valerie. Welcome along from Mexico. I've been watching your work, and you are producing so much beautiful stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Well done. And Gabriella from Germany. Hi. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Rita, how are you? I believe in Rome. I have a memory like a, well, like a brain with a big memory area. But I hope you're doing well over there, guys. Little slurp, put that down. Let's get some paint on. Yep. Okay. We're going to start off with Mr. DD, Dangerous Dave. Yep. Fabulous Mr. Dave. Now, if you do have the brushes and you've not seen the video of how to operate these guys, do drop me a line, or even mention on here, because I can read it back a little bit later, and I'll give you a link where you can actually get a little bit of a insider track, as it were, on how to spin these guys around. Yeah. Beautiful thing about Dave is Dave's a beautiful thing. His top's made out of bristles. Angle, always use the benefit of that. Flicking round, use the thin end. Very simple. But don't use them as a little detail brush. Not really made for that. Right, let's start off with the building. Just water on the Dave. Drag a little bit down one side. We're going to have the light coming from the left-hand side. So just dragging water down. Doesn't matter that the water runs out, because the further down, the drier it's going to be, but it's going to have a bit of moisture on there. Not overly soaked, but just enough to get us going. So, going to start with a little bit of lemon yellow. Don't worry if it goes outside the line. Pat yourself on the back if it does go outside the line, because that's a good place for it to go. That's lemon yellow. Cad orange. Little bits of white left. Useful. Window there, leaving a little bit of white. But I'm just thinking on my feet. Well, I'm actually sitting, but you know what I mean. Drag this down, let it float about. Yeah? So, got that on. Now I'm going to throw on a little bit of Indian red. Just dragging it. Drag around the door. Now that, just dragging around that door, very, very simple. I mean, I see the message quite a few times where people say, I don't know how to do or what negative painting is. It's painting around the object, and that's a classic example. It defines the shape without lining in or actual painting the shape. So it's just a very simple going around the object, like a teddy bear. Yeah, got that on. Now I'm going to throw on some cerulean violet. Yeah, straight edge of dangerous there. Drag down. Again, using his beauty of the edge of this dagger brush. Sorry, David, I didn't mean to call you this or a dagger brush, but you know what I mean. People unacquainted with your credentials will wonder what I'm going on about. Just flicking this on again. All I'm doing there, because the paper's wet, just dropping a line down, dropping it, not moving the brush at all. It's just landing where it goes. Got that on. Then what we're going to do, I know, while it's still wet, I'm just going to get some cerulean blue. We're going to flick him round, so we're using the thin end. Yeah, just drag that around where the windowy bits are. Now these bleed out. Again, if you're unaccustomed to it, you'll think, oh no, I've got to control that. Control leads to detail. Let it bleed away. It's a subtle suggestion of where the object is. Nothing much more than that. Then I'm going to drop a little bit of darker blue in. Only in places, just drop them down. There they go. La-di-da. That's me being posh. Hi there, Marianne. Welcome along. So glad you could make it. So got that on, guys. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of cab red on the door. Drag that down. And again, that's sort of an internal negative painting just on that shape. Yeah? Let me zoom in again, guys, see if we can get a bit closer for you. There we go. Even one more. Yeah, we're about there. Okay. So got that on. And then light's coming from this way, so this is going to be a cast shadow just inside the door. Nothing much more than that. Then swooping in like Batgirl, Ladyship Miss Rigger. Flick a few little lines across the front. That could act as steps or something like that. Nothing particular. Let that bleed about. Now we can speed up the process. We're going to go with, excuse me, a little bit of water on this side as well. Now I want this to be the focal point, so I don't want to mess about with these other bits too much. Indian red. That's cerulean violet. Just chopping these lines in, leaving these little glitches of white all over the place. Same on the reverse side, Indian red. It's a little bit high, so all I'll do that, make it lower. There we go. Little bit of sepia in there, and then I'm just going to throw in blue. This is Pathalio blue, is it? Is that how it's pronounced? Pathological blue, something like that. It's rich dark blue anyway, that's the one. Doesn't overly matter about the colours as well, so you can deliberate on the colours, the best colours, or whatever they work for you. Ultimately, you can decide on what colours you love. They're the ones you should be using. But I predominantly use student quality ones because they bleed better. There's less pigment in, they don't have a wall around them, which is a useful thing. Like my garden, don't have a wall around that. I thought I'd emulate that in paint. So there we go, guys. There's the two side pieces. Now what I'm going to do now, I'll have to move around a bit, but this is still floating about. Water in the top bit. This is giving me the flow. And down. Then I'm going to go in with cerulean blue, just get a bit more out. Throw some on. Say sun, there's quite a lot. And you can actually put it on very ruggedly and then reshape it. And there we go, down again over where it stops in the clover. Negative painting again. Here I'm putting the line down and flicking it inwards. So I'm really just shaping for a start. Whole lot of shaping going on. Yeah. Who was that? That was, oh, I don't know. Well, that's Dangerous Dave, obviously, that's who it was. Flicking out again. You see what I do? I place the brush down and flick it in the opposite direction. The easiest way to do it. So I'm not fiddling about. And then I can go back and fill in the gaps. Yeah, there we go again. A little bit there. One more. So I'll just find the places I want to. Jerry Lee Lewis, absolutely. Edge and the tip, Marianne, absolutely, yes. There's the edge, not the guy from YouTube, YouTube, or the top, a bit like Miss Rigger, so it's a very dual purpose brush, absolutely. Down the little alleyway again. Place it down. You see, I could either go back with Miss Rigger to tidy that up, or just use the sun. Look at that beautiful flowing about in the sky there. Nothing I've really done to do that. So is the sound okay, guys? Do tell me if there's any issues. Let's have a look. I'll have a look. My end. I think we're okay. Colours, yes, cerulean blue, and let me just correctly pronounce this. Right, this is, sorry, my apologies, this is intense blue. So that dark one is intense blue. Got that on, guys? What I'm going to do, bit of a rarity for me, but while it's still wet, throw a little bit of salt to get a little bit of movement in the blue, nice big area. I'm also going to dab down a few little dots of water as well, just on Miss Rigger. So we've got little snowdrops and big snowdrops, yeah, variation. They're not all big, they're not all little, yeah. Brilliant stuff, well done. Okay, got that on. Front of house, shall we call it. Water, clean your brush. Dave, I've told you to wash. What you doing, man? What you doing? Water across, flick this across, even a little bit just here that we dropped earlier. I can use that. I'm changing the angle of this water as I go across. Very light. Cerulean blue. A little bit of Indian red. Caroline violet, almost. Yeah. So I'm dragging this down. I'll just move the paper up a bit, leaving this as a nice white expanse. And then I can drag some of this across if I feel I want to, which I do want to. So there we go, I've got that going on. So where's Miss Rigger gone? She's hiding again. There she is. She's back with us. She's back with us. Brilliant. Okay. So what we're going to do, we've got sepia. Yeah. And what I'll do, I'll just damp a little bit of this water off at the moment. There's sepia and Indian red. Yeah. Just flicking a line. And again, I don't know if you can see my elbow is just here, there, and then I'm flicking from a long way away. If you hold it too close, particularly with these sort of movements, it's just too much. You'll get little jaggedy lines and they won't do much. Again, I'll take it so far, stop, flick again. That gets that natural, almost tree-like join or branch-like join without doing anything. So take it so far, stop, flick. So far, stop, and flick. Yeah. That's one. Take it right off the page. Don't be constrained by the size of the page, really, or the paper you're working on. Some people will stop because they're going off the end. I've been going off the end for years, but it's a good thing. Absorb a little bit there. Try and save my best dining table. Again, similar thing. Let's take it about there. Flick it up. Now, I'm not trying to make the detail in any shape or form. I mean, by that I mean strong, so you can see every bit. Where it bleeds off and disappears, it's a great thing. And when you look at it, you'll say, well, I fill the gap in. I know that it stops there and it starts there. My imagination will say that the two are joined together. And that's how it works. Very simple, but pretty true, I would say. I've fallen off the edge a couple of times, Marianne. I got back on, but then I jumped off again because I quite liked it. Brilliant place. Called The Spice of Life. So I've got those on. Just move my image across a little bit again. Just do a few this side. And again, we're not trying to emulate the thickness of a tree, as it were, and all the measurements that go with that. I'm going to bring this down this way a bit as well. I'll just save my arm while I'm up there. But again, you'll think the trunk needs to be thicker. It doesn't really. In detail, it is. In this way of painting, it doesn't have to be. So flip that over again. Hi there, Barbara. Welcome along. Welcome along. If you love watercolours, particularly loosey ones, you're in the right place. You've stopped your motorbike in the right place. Again, flicking that over. You can have great fun with the flicking of Miss Rigger. So, got all that on. So now we can just throw that out of the way, guys. Sorry about the interlude. Let me try and zoom in a little bit for the. I think we're on full beam, as it were. Okay. So now we can actually pop back in and do a little bit more detail. And it's only at this point I start to add little bits of detail. So we've got Miss Rigger, we've got Perulian, Violet. Dragging a little bit around the edge and a bit down the doorway. Arching over. There, that'll do, nothing much. Now little lines just around the doorway, like that sort of chased stone. But again, it's broken. It's not a big solid line. It's not what I want. Same again, down the side, we've got a little line, a little line, a little line, all broken. And again, far side. Then what I do, I take off the paint off the ladyship, I add a little bit of water and let some of it bleed away. So I put it down, drag it, and it allows the pigment to bleed away from where I placed it, leaving me the ability, well, I say my ability, Miss Rigger's ability to negatively pick out the towers, let them jump out a little bit. Only a little bit of information, but it's just enough. That's all you need. So I'd say the sort of rule of thumb is to overdo it for a start and get everything on, and then underdo it to pick out your little bits of detail. You've got the top of the tower. Again, I just put the rigger down, drag it across, and then flick water down to this area and let it bleed up. Same again. I like that nice blaze there. That could be snow. It could be a white sheet. Could be one of my old shirts. Or it could be just a blast of light. Got that on again. So, little line here. This is Indian red. With that sort of stone detailing. Split this down a bit. We did some little lines just to suggest the break in the building. One again here, broken across. So I put 2 or 3 on. Put 3 on there, and then I go back and throw a bit of water on it. So it just leaves little sections of it for me to use to be able to describe what's happening. And it's all a very quick process. Obviously, you don't need to leave it for too long, because then it will dry. And you don't need a steady hand. I rest my hand every time and just place the brush down, move it a little bit, and then allow the paint just to touch, and then I can move it about later on. But no way am I being very delicate and steady with it at all. Lines again, couple there, one there, so it breaks it down. Again, lines down, so these could be bits of stone on the side. And really, when you do that scamp at the beginning, that's the time you'll learn the shape of the building, as it were. So whether these have got little raised stonework or not, that's when you'll just have a look and find out. Again, just here, a little bit of a line, a little bit of a line, and again. Just move that back for you guys, didn't need to shuffle it about. Again, water underneath, and again, and above. So all I'm doing is negatively allowing that centre bit to stand out. Got that. I've got the windows, so I can firm those up a bit, as in a little bit richer, a little bit of detail. And as soon as you touch the area, you can see if it's the right colour, as in strength. And if it's not, make it stronger. If it's too strong, make it weaker. And that's the way of learning as you go along, rather than keep trying to improve the one you're doing, because then you fall into the area of trying to please people by making that one image look great. It's better to learn from that and say, yeah, that was a great learning moment. Same with the windows. You see I'm just dragging these down. But it's better to start again than keep going over the same thing 10 times. You won't learn anything by sort of patching it up, as it were. What you may do, let me rephrase that. You'll learn more by doing the whole thing again, but you will learn the individual smaller components by going over the one you've done. Miss Rigger on her edge there. It's always on her edge, especially when Dangerous Dave's about. There we go. Bigger windows here, so I'm just splaying the brush out a little bit more. Maybe one there. Maybe that's the sitting room, who knows. Put a little bit of blue in there just to suggest that. Then at the front, Tidge piece, we've got still Miss Rigger. Miss Rigger is a Fabo brush, it really is. My life changed when I met Miss Rigger. She is, Chris, absolutely, I couldn't agree more. She's a mighty fine lady, mighty fine. Or do long sweeps. Again, if it's too dry, make it wetter. These long lines really just, they can give texture to the surface of the front, but they could also draw you into the image. Very simple idea. All you're doing is making them more, just think of a clock face, making them more angular from a particular point being here. Just throwing some blue in there. That blue I'm putting down there is very, very strong, very rich. But I can put that there as a little bit of a focal point. There we go, so that just brings all of those out towards me. Got that all going on. Again, we've got these buildings at the side. They could so easily just sit there and be as they are, because we know the buildings, we know the shapes, the focal point's the centre. Everything's going into that centrepiece. We don't need anything else in there. So I will leave them. I'm very tempted to dive in, as we all are, but just what I do, if I'm about to dive in, I just do this. Yeah, very simple. So if you find yourself doing that, just go, no, don't do it. Yeah. Hi there, Jackie from France. So you've found the chat. Welcome along. Welcome along. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. So there we go, guys. I'll put a little bit on here, just a few little windows. You see, there's a nice little accident, as we call them. So these could be windows, but they're just white, and I'm adding a little bit dark around them. So I'm making a use of what's happened, but I couldn't really predict that would land where it's landed. Windows. Same on the side, I'll put a few on. But as Frank said, I'd say the same as about my windows, but too few to mention. Now, little marks under the overhang of the roof. Nothing more. That'll do. I know, maybe a doorway. They've got to get out somehow. Or maybe they could be in there for a mighty long time. You can drop them on. What I do, I have a look and then get a little bit of tissue and pick a bit off. A good point, Marianne, less cleaning, absolutely. Now, I just want a little bit of darkness in front of the building. So I've got everything on, then just as a little line. I'm only thinking in terms of dark zone to just drag the eye in, nothing more. Put that down. Leave water under it, and that will do. And then just on the trees again, which again, I don't know if the screen's picking it up very well, but the little starbursts are working very, very well. Just got water on this rigger now. I can flick some of this through the blue just to get that on. Yeah, so flicking that about. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. Hope you don't mind me indulging myself. I'm going to sing a little song as I keep painting rather than stop. But we'll see how we go. Let's have a little look. So I'm going to sing, he says, a little song. Right, just give me 1 second. Right, okay, let's have a look. So do forgive me because I've my screen gone a bit funny, but we'll be okay. Anyway, a little carol. What about a little Christmas carol, guys? Do you know this one? You should know this one wherever you are, so do join in, but I won't bellow on with it. So this one is Silent Night. It's a Christmassy special. Yeah? Okay then. I'll continue my painting as we do. Okay, there we go. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly sleep, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sign, glories stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light. radiant beam from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. There we go, folks. I like a Christmas carol to keep me going. Miss Rigger and the boys flicking about. So let's just flick these across, lifting off a little bit of pigment, and that's all we're doing, 2 or 3 times. Pinks off a little line as we go. And then when the pigment's wet, we can just extend it as part of the image. So we're not going back in to pick up new pigment every time we do that. So, got all that on, guys. I think we may need some people down the front, don't you? I think that would be remiss and empty if we didn't do that. So let's give us a little suggestion of height. That's all I really need. I'd like a suggestion of height, being 2'1". I tell everybody I'm 6 foot, but I'm always looking up and telling everybody I'm 6 foot. There we go. So head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Dragging the shape down, just the body shape, that's all we're looking at. Then again, drag down. So it's the overall shape we're just looking at there. I do apologise, babe. I do apologise for that. I don't want to press. I'm no techie guy. I'm no techie guy. But anyway, thank you for holding on there, guys. Now then, where were we before we were so technically interrupted? There we go. Let's see how we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, we're back on. We're back on. Brilliant. Hey, wing and a prayer, wing and a prayer. Okay, so after that interlude, I just went to the jazz club and I didn't like the first band, so I thought, right, I'll come back. There we go. So there's my little people. It's gone a bit drier now. I've slightly taken my eyes off the prize with this, but so what? That's the nature of the job. Got that, guys? Nice big shadow. Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Brilliant, brilliant. Oh, we have a chuckle, don't we, guys? We do have a chuckle. I'm glad you've got a sense of humour, because it makes every day really fun. A little bit more dark texture on there. There we've got the guys rolling about. A little bit more on the back bit. There we go. Okay, these guys are going to church, yeah? Take me to church. There we go. So, got that going. All nice and simple, yeah. Right, I think what we'll do is just have a little bit of a flicky time down the front. We spent more time in darkness today than in light. Little dots and dashes. No, forget that. Not dots and dashes like that. Do it like that. Yeah. So we're not putting white snow in front of white background. There's no point, obviously. It's not going to work. So think of just another texture that will sum up the idea of that little bit of snow falling. Yeah? Okay. So there we go, guys. Now then, I think I'm almost done. I've literally, we've been through the mill, but it wasn't a big mill, was it? No, it was a small mill, there was no issue. Can add a little bit to this if we want as we go along. And again, don't worry about it. If you overdo it, so what? So what? It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's learning a great skill. And the great thing about this, guys, you can be world class anytime, anytime. It's repetition will get you there. Understanding of the process will get you there. Persistence will get you there. You've got all of these. You've got all of these. So I know you guys are producing fab stuff. It's going to get better and better. And I tell you, the fun thing will be, you won't even notice how good you are. Yeah, you'll keep saying to yourself, "Oh no, I'm just trying," and then people will be sort of tongues hanging out of the mouth, thinking that is a fantastic picture. I'd love that. And you're like, "Oh, it's just I don't paint. I don't paint." One day you'll have to turn around and say, "Yeah, I do paint. I love this. I'm really pleased you enjoy what I do, and it brings me great joy." And yeah, I like it. I guess it's good. It's a good thing. So well done to you guys. You can do it. So I'm fiddling about a little bit, just adding a bit of dark, and that just brings it forward again. A little bit of dark tone will strengthen things up, bring it out towards you. Yeah, you could go on. We could go on. But what I'll do, guys, I shall put this on for this last challenge, really, of the just before Crimbo season. Yes, I'll just run through my bits and bobs, guys, and really just tidy up for the year. And my first thing to say, really, is thank you so much for your unstinting support. You've been very kind. You've been very generous to everyone else on the Facebook site and everywhere else. You've all been fantastic people. You really have. And it helps an awful lot because we all want to do an enjoyable hobby, an enjoyable interest. We want to get as much out of it as possible, and by helping each other, it's a good thing. You feel better, they feel better, I feel better. It's just better all around. Why not? And that's what you do. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. A few little bits underneath the image again today, or sorry, the tutorial today, which we've got the loose gang if you're interested. I've kept that sort of low key for quite a while because I'm trying to do an awful lot of other things, so I just don't have the facilities or time at the moment really to be inundated with requests and bits and bobs. So thank you for those who have purchased. I hope they're loving it with you, and I'm sure they are, and I hope they're proving to be useful adjuncts to getting loose. I'm sure they will be, because I've found nothing better, so that's why I wanted you guys to be able to get hold of some of those. Patreon, it's kept me afloat for quite a while, so a really huge thank you there for your support. It has been quite a difficult few months, to say the least, but it doesn't matter. Tomorrow's another day, and today was a good one. It's always the best way to be. Holiday coming up in Italy next year. If you're interested, drop the guys a line, have a chat with them. They're very on board and great people to take care of us. So if you're interested, have a little chat. Also, the website, that's my key thing, and that's what I've been working on. So YouTube really did chuck everything, and this is throwing everything off my subscription channel, my paid subscription channel. So I built that up for 2 years. It went overnight, so I was out of a job, as it were. So I've had to build a new one, which is good. I've delayed it because I want to get it as correct as possible, and everything's simplified, so everything's working for you. But everything will be on there. All of the tutorials, there'll be the broadcast from there. It will still be available from here, but we can run it. I'm going to run it from the website. We've got the challenges on there. We've got other bits and bobs. You can put your own work on there. Tons of stuff going on. A really nice place to be, and particularly if you join me, because you're such a nice group of people that really make it a fantastic community, and that's what it's all about. So I really do intend to launch this the day after Boxing Day. So that's, well, a week today, actually, I believe. It would be on the 27th. That's what I'm really aiming for. So you'll all get notified if you've dropped me an email, and if not, I'll notify you on here so you can pop along and just have a look around. Tons on there. There's different choices of levels you can go in at. There's plenty of free stuff. There's subscriptions of varying degrees as well. So if it's your sort of thing, pop along, and we'll continue the joy and fun. And anyway, to round up, guys, thanks again so much for your friendship, your fun, your humour, your kindness to others, and also being so supportive in the things that I do and helping along in that way. So thanks again, guys. I'll post this as this week's image if you've got time, but we're all very busy people. So have a go, do little bits of it and see how you get on. Post it on Facebook, and most of all, have a fantastic Christmas, have a fantastic New Year, and have a beautiful time, and we'll be together again very, very soon. I will do another get together next Tuesday, the day after Boxing Day. Let me get my dates right. I think that'll be Wednesday, actually. So next Wednesday, I'll drop a message. But thanks again, guys. You've been super. Take care and have a fabulous, fabulous time. And also, from the Loose Gang, bye-bye, and thank you again. See you soon, guys. Take care.